Well, tonight in the podcast, ladies and gentlemen, we don't have really that long before the election, and all the conversation is about Biden and Trump. But Biden and Trump isn't the only one that is running for the presidential election. You also have a third-party candidate, an independent candidate, by the name of Robert Kennedy Jr. Now, I went to his website. I wanted to see what did he have to offer Black Americans, and why should Black Americans go out and vote for Robert Kennedy Jr. in the election? Because some of you say you're tired of Trump, some of you say you're tired of Biden, so you actually have a third option that you possibly can choose in your state if he's definitely on the ballot. So let's go ahead on and look at this real quick, and let's see if he got some policies that would be good for the Black community. So we on the Robert Kennedy website here. And the important thing, as I stated earlier, let's go ahead on and look at the policy that he has on his website for Black people. Now, as we scroll down, I'm just kind of showing you a little bit. It's we the people, not the corporations, people who work hard to be able to afford a living. And if you want to see any of this or read all those policies, you definitely can go to their website to see that. But what was important to me as a Black American is to look at this section. All right. So politics, as usual, has failed the Black community. For too long, the levers of power in Washington have changed hands between Republicans and Democrats without meaningful change coming to the Black community. Things will be different with independent Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who spent 40 years fiercely protecting minority communities. Y'all know how we feel about that word minority. Let me tell all you politicians something, because some of you may listen to this video. Some of the shields may listen to this video. Don't say Black and then use the term minority. At this point, minority does not represent Black Americans. People of color does not represent Black Americans, okay? If you're using the terms minority, you're already starting off on a bad foot. In Kennedy's first case as an environmental attorney, he represented the NAACP in his fight to stop a garbage station in Ossining, New York. He has always been there for vulnerable communities. Vulnerable communities is not Black. Remember, it says the Black community, and we're using the term minority communities, but we said the Black community, and then now you're saying vulnerable communities, but you're not saying Black, okay? From the Bronx to indigenous people in North and South America. Once again, that's something you probably need to go tell the indigenous people. Structural community investment. Black businesses are the lifeblood of the Black community. Kennedy knows it. He serves on the board of Restoration Plaza in Bed-Stuy, New York for 35 years, ending redlining and releasing investment capital turned Restoration Plaza into a thriving business community. Kennedy will replicate this success across the country with structural community investment rather than the $100 billion bank bailouts. Kennedy will invest in urban and struggling communities. Ladies and gentlemen, the term urban is not saying Black. The term struggling is not saying Black. And once again, you're saying communities, sir. Now, they want to use the language that we use, tangibles. Increase access to investment capital for a robust, self-sustained Black business infrastructure. Institute Black Business Development Agency to build and support African American companies. Well, this is the problem. How are you going to Ed Bloom proof that? Now you know what he's trying to do. And really, he tipped his hand. So now everything we do, we got to make sure it's Ed Bloom proof. I said, web courses taught by respected Black entrepreneurs on starting a business as qualifiers for small business grants. Low interest microloans to invest in approved business plans with flexible repayment terms. What do you mean about approved business plans? No, you should just go ahead on and invest. I mean, of course, make sure that person could at least provide 2 to 3 years tax returns and things like that. Make sure they're a reputable business, they know what they're doing, but why you need to approve a business plan if you're going to help somebody? I'm just saying, millions of new full-time jobs for the Black community. Okay, where's that going to come from? Who's going to give us these full-time jobs? Immigration policy that protects local resources, ending the migrant encampments in urban areas. Increase trade school and college prep opportunities for our youth. Now, Increased trade school, I support that 2,000%. I believe that we need more of the skilled trades in this dispensation than any other time in history. College prep to me should be good for things that if you're going to go to college, and I'm going to keep saying this, if you're not going to make at least $80,000 to $100,000 when you get out, and you can get out before you get out, you can got a job, then I don't really see a point of wasting your money. Justice. Black maternal mortality. Kennedy will address the black maternal mortality crisis by supporting expanded coverage for pre- and postnatal care, doulas, and a wraparound support, let's say, for up to a year after giving birth. Let's say tackle the black maternal health crisis with increased funding to maternity wards in African-American communities. Call for increased implicit bias training for medical students. Incentives for medical facilities found to improve outcomes for black patients. Now they say it's police reform. Recruit police so for the neighborhoods they serve. Don't make police do jobs they're untrained for. Increase funding for mental health professionals accompanying police to help de-escalate citizens in nonviolent mental health crisis. It's a commission to root out systemic bias from the federal to local levels. Ending civil forfeiture by making seizing assets from citizens illegal without due process. I can agree with that one. Justice for black farmers. Robert Kennedy Jr. will end the USDA discrimination against black farmers, which they do discriminate a lot, and protect current landowners from further land loss. Prison reform. It's a expand reintroduction to the community for nonviolent offenders and dismantle the school to prison pipeline by ending suspensions being added to criminal records. Environmental justice. Penalize environmental pollution caused by corporations dumping toxic waste in black communities. Now, remember, originally this says it's supposed to be a black community section, but then you get down here, an American dream for all. That's not black. That's everybody. AmeriCorps and a new GI Bill for community service. It just has a GI Bill built the middle class and after World War II. Kennedy's expansion of service awards benefits in AmeriCorps. Our domestic Peace Corps is saying and will be the next generation on the path toward the American dream. Cleaning up parks, caring for the elderly, building infrastructure, and working on organic healing farms will unlock a significant assets to pay your way through college or learn the trade, start a small business, or put a down payment on a home. With nearly 60% of minority households, it's a liquid assets poor, is a Kennedy's plan will help end the racial wealth gap. But you'd still mention the term minority. That's a problem. Student debt relief. It says President RFK Jr. they will push to make student debt dischargeable in bankruptcy. And move to cancel student debt. Home ownership. It says first-time home buyers should not have to compete with private equity firms and billionaires to buy a home. Kennedy will fight to keep Wall Street out of the single-family home market and institute 3% government-backed mortgage bonds to make home ownership more affordable for families. It's like having a rich uncle, Uncle Sam, who's willing to co-sign your mortgage. Homelessness. There's no American dream for those living the nightmare of homelessness, which disproportionately affects the black community. Kennedy will push to address root causes of homelessness and expand wraparound services. So this is what he has put up here for the black community. And I don't like the words minorities. I don't like the word vulnerable communities. I don't know what you meant. I don't like him mentioning indigenous people. The student loan thing, that's Biden all over again. Some of this stuff here, like you say, talking about the tangibles thing. Yes, we definitely need to invest in black business. And, I'm all for that. The skilled trades, I'm all for that. For black people to get homes, I'm all for that. But black people, we need a little bit more than just that. We need definitely reparation in the form of cash payments. We also need an anti-black hate crime bill. So now that we went through that, some of you, you can make your decision if you want to go vote third party, or maybe the couch is still a decision for you. It don't matter. Now, I know, and let me give a shout out to our people on Facebook. Hi, Facebook, because boy, y'all of the Democrat shields they are swarming on Facebook. Man, I thought I never seen nothing like that. Some of the Democrat shields going to say, you go vote for Robert Kennedy, then that's just giving a vote to Trump. So if you stay home and you don't vote for nobody on the couch, that's voting for Trump. If you vote for Robert Kennedy because you choose to, that's a vote for Trump. They are so obsessed with Donald doggone Trump, it's crazy. Like people sometimes don't even care about Donald Trump like that. They don't care about Biden either. You know what? I was talking to my father today, and he said, you know what, man, I just don't even want to watch them two. He said, I'm sick of the whole thing. He said, nobody is just talking about anything that's right productive. It's a bunch of back and forth. He said, man, I just rather focus on what I'm doing and just trying to live my life, man. And I said, yeah. I say, well, you know me. I said, this is part of, what I do for a living. So I have to pay attention to this. But also, let me also admonish you this to black people in the community who have a mind for themselves, who actually can use the brain, because our brains are singular. We don't have a hive that we're connected to. If you have a different idea, if you want to vote for Robert Kennedy for whatever the reason, it's your choice. You can go to the website and see if any of his policies that you like, and you say, you know what, I ain't voting for Trump behind, I ain't voting for Biden behind either, but I vote for Robert Kennedy. If you choose to vote for Robert Kennedy, don't let these plantation-minded people in our community, and we talking about Democrat plantation-minded people, shame you, put you down, talk about you, or even if they in your family, try to not talk to you anymore because you didn't go out and vote for Biden. You have every right to go vote for Robert Kennedy if you want. Just as much you have a right to vote for Biden if you want. You have a right to go vote for Trump if you want. It don't matter what names they call in somebody. They don't matter what. At the end of the day, it is your choice. And let me tell you something. If these people are shaming you, they don't care about you. If they're saying nasty words to you, they don't care about you. If they're using the term sell out and all these different, because that's one thing a lot of these shields they have the market cornered on name calling, like children. They're childish. And I wouldn't even say go back and forth with these childish people. Just block them and get them off your page. And if they're in your family, sometimes you may have to walk away from family because of this stuff, right? When you are having a mind of your own and you are living in your truth, not everybody's going to accept it. And some people you're going to have to walk away from because they can't go with you. In life, there is a journey for all of us. And not everybody that started on the journey will be at the end of that journey either. But one thing I've learned in life, people that have walked away, people have went by the wayside, there was a bunch of new people that I started meeting down the line that was a lot better and what I needed to meet. And maybe if these people didn't get out of my life, I couldn't have met these new people. So if people walk away from you behind what you choose to vote for, or if you just choose the couch, if they want to talk down to you, disrespect you, shame you, ancestor shame you, and all that, they don't care about you. They're using shame as a weapon of control. You understand? To follow their cult-like mind and hive mind they have for the Democrat Party. So if you want to vote for Robert Kennedy, you have every right as a black person to vote for Robert Kennedy. It's just that simple. It's called voting rights, meaning you have a right to vote for whoever you would like to vote for that line up with you. I just want to let y'all know that, because this trying to talk down on other black people, trying to shame black people, trying to attack them. And listen, the moment they do that, the moment you start name calling, I don't even listen to you no more. I'm just like, you do better actually having a conversation with me and having something productive, acting like adults. But the moment you start acting like petulant children, that's it. And you got to take that same approach, because you got to cut the BS out your life. You got to cut every person that's on some BS with you, negativity with you, out your life. If a person cares about you, then they understand they're not going to agree with everything you do or say, but they're not going to be against you because you decided to vote a different way politically. No, they're not going to do that. But look into his platform. If you say you want to vote third party. Now, to be real with you, if you really want to make a change in America, if black people in mass would vote for a third party, if not this election, the next one, that would flip the system on its head, because the Democrats and Republicans are working very hard to keep third parties out of debates. They're trying to keep them off the ballot. They working together. And that's not right in a so-called functional democracy, in my opinion. That's election interference, in my opinion. You're trying to influence the election and you're interfering. But why Biden and Trump aren't being told they're interfering in an election when they're doing that? Although parties are being, influenced in the election, well, you can only vote Democrat and Republican. You can't look at other people in other parties. No, we need other parties at this point. Most people are sick of Democrats and Republicans because they're not offering anything. So you need something different. And a lot of the people like Gen X, Millennial, and Gen Z, you're going to take a lead on third parties. I think the closest a third party guy was when Ross Perot was running. And Ross Perot, man, he was smart. He was smart. That dude, he should have been a president. Because telling boy Ross Perot was so smart, he called out all this stuff we dealing with today. He called that out a long time ago. Go look at some of the videos from Ross Perot back then. You know what I'm saying? He was a third party candidate. If you want to change America, you got to get rid of the Democrat and Republican cartel. Bottom line, because as long as you have the Republican and Democrat cartel, America's going to stay the same. Whether it's Biden and Trump. Yes, I like some things that Trump push. Way more. Biden, I can't deal with him, but it's still part of the cartel, though. A third party, I think, would be better. A third or fourth party, I think, would be more competition and give more people an option. And the younger people have to make that happen. If you complaining about America don't change, well, do something different. It's on you as voters.